Hello everybody, how are you doing today? I am very well, thank you. Today I will be doing some drawings in my Tokyo A Go-Go journal. This is the journal I was using for Virtual Voyage 6, I believe. Was it 6 or 5? I always forget. Anyway, it was the Tokyo A Go-Go Virtual Voyage with James Burke. So I'm going to be using this journal today because I want to do some Japan themed like little icons, I guess, some little drawings and just things that remind me of my time here in Japan. I think I've mentioned this every single video for the past few weeks, but I am leaving Japan after 4 years, and I just really wanted to do some drawings inspired by my time here, some little things that make me think of Japan, or because I don't think I've actually ever done I've obviously done drawings and things inspired by my time here. That's pretty much what I've done the entire time, but I really wanted to do some kind of like some stickers, I guess, or some motifs that I can use in my journal, things that I've drawn myself. And as you can see, I'm kind of figuring out different things to draw and changing it according to my preference. Obviously, these things already exist, and the tricky thing is when you're drawing something from life or something that's very popular, it's been drawn a bunch of times, so it's very difficult not to be naturally inspired by something that has been drawn so many times and to draw it in a different way, or to draw it in a way that is your style, let's say. So I don't think I particularly have a style. I'm not sure. Like, I think people always tell me I have a style, but personally I can't see it quite yet. But I definitely wanted to do these little illustrations, like kind of loose, sketchy drawings with not perfect lines, and I wanted them to have eyes that were a little creepy but a little cute, like creepy cute. I wanted them to have like eyes like that. So I think maybe that's my style, just sort of like that, and also to have some of them with very blank expressions. I don't know why, but I just think it's so cute when the character just has like a completely straight line for their mouth, and kind of like a squished face. So that's what I have done for the majority of these illustrations, and the reason I kind of gave them the same sort of face is so that they look coherent as a set. And speaking of making them look coherent and like they are a full set, I wanted to do the same colors throughout. Sorry, I just hit the microphone. I wanted to do the same colors throughout. So what I did, I've never actually done this before, but it actually was a really great idea. So I swatched all of my favorite colors, or just some colors that I have that I use a lot. I swatched them all out, and then I cut them all out, and I wrote on the back of some of them, most of them, what they were, what palette they came from. And then I went through, and this is what I'm doing here. I'm actually picking out colors and to try and make a palette, something that I like the look of, and that can have a nice variety of colors, so I can actually color all these things in how I think it would suit. So at first I really loved this pastel one that I did, but then eventually I realized I needed a red, because I didn't need a red. I could have used a pink instead of a red, but I really wanted red because red reminds me of Japan, and so many of the things here are red. So many of the, like the little daruma is usually red, the kokeshido has a lot of red in it, the masks have red, the sun is often drawn red, and the little akabeko, which is the mascot for Fukushima, which is where I live, is also red. So instead of doing pastel, I thought I would do like this nice variety of color. I wanted them to be kind of warm tones that are look a little earthy. So I used a mixture of watercolors that I had. I think I used Gekoso, and I also used some Beam paints, and I also used some Winsor and Newton. I think the browns are Winsor and Newton. So then I just wanted to make sure the colour was sort of spread evenly around the pictures. So I started with 1 or 2 colours, like pink, and then I did all the pink parts, and then I did green, and I did the green parts. And that was just so that when you look at all of the little illustrations as a whole, they look like they're meant to be together, like they are a set. And I really love the way that turned out as well. I've actually done this a few times before, where I've chosen the colours beforehand and then I've stuck to those colours only, and I really enjoy painting that way because it kind of gives you the freedom to not have to think about each colour before you put it on the page. It's literally, I have to choose between these 6 colours, that's it, and it takes away the hesitation that you feel sometimes when you're painting, like, what colour should I use here? What colour should I use for this? It takes away that part, and for me, I really enjoy that. I took my time to choose the colours that I wanted. In fact, it probably took me longer to choose the colours than it did to actually sketch out all these little illustrations because actually swatching all the colours and choosing them, it took a long time. But now I have all the swatches, I can keep them for future projects, and I can choose the colours again just by those swatches. So yeah, I really recommend that if you are struggling with choosing colours, doing little swatches and then putting them together. And you do have to kind of use your imagination too for part of it. I think I chose an orange colour, which I tested on the fish there, but actually I just didn't like it. I didn't think it went with the rest of the colours. So in the end, I ended up painting over the orange that I'd use. There you go, I'm painting over it now. So sometimes they don't work out, and you can choose different colours and go over them like I did. I also decided to use a dark brown to line everything. I know it looks black right here, but it does dry a little bit lighter. And again, the reason I did that is I wanted the illustrations to have a very like earthy look to them, and also I wanted them to look hand painted as well. Like I didn't want to make them too perfect. And I really like the effect of that. Some things I didn't line at all. So as you can see, the kokeshi and the little daruma in the bottom right corner, they don't have any lining, and they are actually my favorite ones. So I really like that effect with the no lining as well. So I actually completed these illustrations over a few days, mainly because I have to work in between. So I would sit and paint these all day, but I had to actually leave, so that's the main reason. But the other reason is that I used quite small brushes. As you can see, I did all the lining with brushes as well, which can take some time. I think it's totally worth it if you line with brushes. I really like the way it looks opposed to a pen. I like both. Obviously a pen is easier to do line work, but I just really wanted that soft kind of brown lining, and to make it look a little bit more hand painted and handmade. So I used the 2 brush sizes I used was a 6 and a 0, and I also used 2 different brands in those sizes. So I used the Winsor & Newton, and I used a brand called Namura, which is I believe they're made in Tokyo. So I used the larger brush for filling in any of the colours, and the smaller brush I used for the line work. And I kind of just wanted it to have a handmade feel. I live in the countryside in Japan, and everything here has a very like handmade feel, if you know what I mean. Like my house is wooden, and it has the shoji blinds with and they're all wooden and paper, so everything has that kind of hand made feel to it, and I definitely wanted that in these illustrations. I didn't want the lines to be perfect, and I wanted you to be able to see that I'd used watercolour with some of the kind of splodges of the watercolour. So that's why I did the lining like that and used these kind of tones as well. But yeah, I think I've nearly finished. So yep, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I so love these little illustrations. I really want to get them onto my iPad and hopefully maybe neaten them up a little bit and maybe even make them into stickers. I would love to have these little stickers around all of my journals and things like that for the time that I spend at home, and have these little things as a nice reminder. But yeah, I would love to do that. I think they'd be cute on like a washi tape too or something like that. So it's definitely something I want to look into. But anyway, also I love the little ramen bowl with the little eggs in there, if you can catch that. It's one of my favorite ones. There it is. So anyway, that's it for this week. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you again next Sunday with a brand new video. Take care everybody, have a lovely week. Bye.